We all want to have a life of purpose. We all ask ourselves at some point, what is the purpose of life? Why are we here? Even children are asking, why are we here? But let's understand what purpose means. If I buy a machine, I buy it because I have a purpose. If I invent a machine, because I have a purpose. I don't just sit and put together objects and then wonder what it's going to be. I know what I want, so I build it in the best, most functional way.
Before I continue with my monologue, where I do all the talking, I want to invite you to a VIP session, a Zoom session, in which we get together to actually have a conversation and discuss all things Jewish, all things holy, all things healthy. So click on the link below and join us where we can have a two-way conversation.
So a purpose means before you do something, what is your objective? What is your reason? What do you want from this thing that you're making? We ask, what is the purpose of life? Who says life has a purpose? We never ask that. We assume life has a purpose and we got to find out what it is. How do you know life has a purpose? Why do you think life has a purpose? The only good explanation is that we were created for a purpose, so we feel it. Consciously or subconsciously, we feel that we're here for a purpose and we need to find out what. You can't make up a purpose. You can't, in the middle of your life, decide, my purpose is to become a doctor. Who says that's your purpose? That's your plan, that's your profession, that's your passion. Who says it's your purpose? The purpose has to exist before you do. Otherwise, you don't exist for a purpose. So when I say, what is the purpose of my life? I'm actually asking, why did God create me? It's the same question. Which also means, if God didn't create you, then there is no purpose. Anyone who asks, what is the purpose of life, believes that they were created for a purpose. And not knowing what it is frustrating. It's like you remember that you have an appointment with somebody and you don't remember with who. But you know it's important. It can make you crazy. So we all have a feeling that we were created for a purpose, but we can't figure out what it is. That's painful. Especially today, more than ever before. In the olden days, the big philosophers, the famous philosophers, asked, what is the purpose of life? Oh, because they were philosophers. Today, everybody is asking it, even children. I have a 7-year-old grandson. 7 years old. And he came home from school and he said, are we living for a reason or it's all just a big joke? And he's not depressed. He's just too smart. Everybody is asking the question today, Maybe because our lives are so easy. When your life is difficult, you have no time for these questions. You're busy. You're trying to survive. But when life is okay, you have time to think. And when you stop to think, you ask the big question. Why am I here? There's another thing that is a little surprising for our generation, and that is that we, as the entire human race, we are a very lonely generation. We feel alone. It's surprising because we're so public, we're so social. We travel, we meet people from all over the world. You go online, everybody likes you online. Why are we so lonely? And here I have the same question. If everybody is lonely and it hurts, it means that it's unnatural to be lonely. Because if it was natural, it wouldn't hurt. Why is it unnatural to be alone? How did that happen? So let me give you the answer and then we'll try to understand it. The Torah says, God created on the first day, he created light. And on the second day, he created a heaven. And on the third day, he created trees. And on the fourth day, the sun and the moon, and so on. Then on the sixth day, he created the first human being. And then God said, to whom? Who was he talking to? I don't know. God said, it is not good to be alone. So I will create Adam a wife. And he separated them, and they became two people. The question is, if God wanted to create a man and a woman, why didn't he just do it? Why did he have to say, it's not good to be alone, so I'll create Chava? Just create her. You don't have to make an announcement. Why did God say it is no good to be alone? On the fourth day, God created the sun and the moon. God didn't say, after creating the sun, it's not good with just the sun, I'll also create the moon. No, he just created the moon. But when he creates Adam, he made a statement. It's not good to be alone, so I'll create Chava. Why did he have to say it? So there are two answers, and it's really one answer. First, God was talking about himself. Now that he created a human being, he wanted to explain why he created the world at all. Why did he create the world? It's not good to be alone. What was God before he created the world? Alone. There was only him. The second reason he said it is because he wants us to be like him. So when he said it is not good for man to be alone, he created that fact so that we are now like him. He doesn't like being alone. We also don't like being alone. Why? There's no answer. Because we're like him, that's all. Which means not wanting to be alone is being like God. It's not a human instinct. It's a godly instinct. We're created in his image. One of the ways that we are like him is we hate being alone. How much do we hate it? When I feel like I'm alone in the world, I become vulnerable to every illness. My immune system fails, and I start to suffer. That's how terrible it is to be alone. What is the solution to being alone? What's the cure? There's only one: marriage. You can't be one with your parents, no matter how much you love them and they love you. You can't be one with your mother or with your father. At best, you're number 3, not number 1, because they have each other. You can't be one with your children, no matter how much you love them, because you're not equals. The only relationship which you stop being alone is marriage. And you take a look what it says in the Torah. God separated Adam and Chava and immediately said to them, get married and become one. Marriage is the cure to being alone. It's really frightening that today people who are happily married have no complaints about their marriage. But when you talk to them individually, the husband or the wife will say, when it's quiet and I'm thinking, I feel alone in the world. That's not supposed to happen. The first thing that changes when you get married is that you're never alone again. If that doesn't happen, something's strange. How can you feel alone when you're married? I mean, you can wish you were alone, but you're never going to be alone because you're married. How can you be married and still feel alone? Because we're not going deep enough. The marriage is good, it functions, it's nice, no complaints, no problem. You're not becoming one, so you feel alone. What is it that gives life purpose and meaning? The first thing is, who needs you? Not who loves you. That's not a good question. It's not an important question. Your mother loves you, okay? No, not good enough. The question is not who loves you. The question is who needs you. Because if nobody needs you, then you are alone. If somebody loves you, you're still alone. Isn't it possible that I could love you and you'll never even know about it? So my love is going to make you feel different? No, it's my feeling. Love is what I'm feeling. So if I love you, I'm doing my thing. I'm just describing myself. You're still a separate person. You may not even want my love. So how will that make you feel connected and not alone? People who are the most popular, who everybody loves, often get depressed. You say, what is wrong with you? Everybody loves you. You're so popular. Yeah, but I'm alone. But when somebody needs you, you're not alone. And the reason for that is because human nature, which we don't hear about, you don't talk about, you don't read about this, human nature is, I need to be needed more than I need to be loved.
If you enjoyed this conversation or this topic, and you're looking for more information, or you want to hear it again from another angle, there's a way to do that. And that is in this book. It's all there. Order it from Amazon. You can read it, reread it, and share it.